Hey, what's going on, guys? Cave Ninjas here. Today we're going to be talking about Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Now, as you know, it's not a 100% confirmed confirmation from Treyarch themselves that it's going to be Call of Duty Black Ops 4, but from the information that we have received from multiple sources, it's pretty guaranteed. Now, as we all know, it's months and months away before Call of Duty Black Ops 4 comes out, most likely in November, like every other Call of Duty to date. And it's even months away from getting any real good details on Call of Duty Black Ops 4 from Treyarch themselves. But from the leaks that we have received from multiple resources, we can basically guarantee that it's going to be Black Ops 4, and with that, we can talk about the possibilities and different routes that Treyarch could go with this new Call of Duty. There could be some huge changes coming to Call of Duty this year with Treyarch's game Call of Duty Black Ops 4, or we could see very little change, and that's kind of what I want to talk about today in this video. But really quick, guys, I have to show you this gameplay I got from Black Ops 1. It was absolutely hilarious, dude. Like, no lie, the guy after this game started talking about how I was cheating and all this stuff. This was my very first game on Black Ops 1 in probably at least 2-3 years. Now, obviously, I'm using the FAMAS, which was arguably one of the best weapons in Call of Duty Black Ops 1. But right here, I get the chopper gunner. And I forgot what a good kill streak is in Call of Duty, besides maybe the wraps in Black Ops 3, but the chopper gunner, man. Hopefully with Black Ops 4, if it's going to be set in modern time period, we can get something great like the chopper gunner back again, man. This kill streak is freaking awesome! Here in just a second, guys, I'm going to be showing this clip of what this guy said right after this game. Unfortunately, I put my mic in so I could talk to him and talk some, some trash talk, but here, one sec, here it is.
Some hella gay shit. Let me see if this nigga cheating, bro. Yeah, this nigga cheating.
It's absolutely hilarious, man. I put my mic in and I started talking to him, and unfortunately I didn't record that because the Elgato doesn't record whenever I actually have my mic in my controller, so that's unfortunate. But he was talking shiz, and then I went into the next game and just completely shit on him again, and yeah, it was awesome, guys. It was awesome. All right, so now to jump into Black Ops 4, damn it, let's get into this stuff. Here's what we know for almost a surety. Black Ops 4 is going to take place during modern times, and we know this for multiple reasons. I'll be linking some of the sources down in the description. And we also know that Call of Duty Black Ops, or I should say Treyarch, has never actually made a modern shooter. They've made Black Ops 1, which was set more in like the Vietnam age, and then Black Ops 2, which was set more in the futuristic age, that kind of went back into the Vietnam age in the campaign, but they've never actually made a modern shooter. The first question that comes to my mind is Treyarch going to go more of a route of actual modern warfare, like we're talking about, terrorist attacks and things like that, kind of like, I remember Medal of Honor made a game that was pretty modern, or are they going to go more towards a made-up scenario, kind of like Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3? That was Modern Warfare, but it was definitely a made-up scenario, made-up campaign. The question for me is, right off the bat, is are they going to go for more of a realistic version of a Modern Warfare where they actually depict the wars of terrorism that's going on right now, or are they going to make up their own story? We're seeing Call of Duty Black Ops 2 Nuketown footage right now, and this makes me think that if they bring back Nuketown one more damn time in a Treyarch game, I am going to freak out. I am so tired of playing Nuketown, but that is just my personal opinion. I'm really hoping it is not the pre-order bonus map. The most interesting thing in my eyes is that if Treyarch really is developing Black Ops 4 right now, to be honest, it's almost done with development at this point in the year, but if that's the game that they're developing, Black Ops 4, I find it very interesting when it comes to the campaign, because obviously they have to stick with the same storyline that they've already set up within the Black Ops universe, right? Got Black Ops 1 campaign, Black Ops 2's campaign, and Black Ops 3's. They have to stick within that storyline for it to make sense to be a Black Ops 4. So I'm assuming if it's a modern shooter, they're going to have to continue the story directly after Black Ops 1, is what I'm assuming. So what was happening in Black Ops 1? Well, obviously, Mason, the numbers, right? So that was kind of the whole thing about Black Ops 1, these numbers, right? What the hell was going on? We had the Nova gas, which that kind of ties in with zombies and something that they could potentially do with the modern zombies that they're going to be creating in Black Ops 4. But granted, it may not even be modern zombies. It may be something completely different that has nothing to do with the campaign and nothing to do with the time era that they're trying to make Black Ops 4 in. One of the main concerns I have with Black Ops 4, if it's going to be set in the modern day, is what kind of weapons are we going to see in multiplayer, right? I mean, we've seen a lot of the same guns in modern Call of Duties. You know, we saw the same guns in Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3. We saw them in Call of Duty Black Ops 1. We had the M16, the FAMAS, all that good stuff. Although I definitely did not like Call of Duty Ghosts. What I did like about Call of Duty Ghosts is it was just set just far enough into the future that it wasn't like super hardcore futuristic technology, but they also had the freedom and creativity to create weapons that didn't actually exist, like the Honey Badger, stuff like that. And I think that allowed, you know, the developers to be able to create these weapons that were kind of unique that we haven't seen before in history, but it also wasn't, you know, unbelievable, like in Call of Duty, you know, Black Ops 3 or maybe Call of Duty Infinite Warfare with the laser weapons and things like that, or Advanced Warfare. So I guess the real question is Black Ops 4 going to be kind of set more in the futuristic but yet modern era where they can be free to create weapons that don't necessarily exist right now, but will make it fun for gameplay wise? Because let's be honest, we've played with a lot of the same guns in Call of Duties, like the M16, the M4, you know, the 50 caliber, the MP5K, the UMP45. Although I personally would not like to see a ton of modern weapons in this Call of Duty Black Ops 4 that is supposedly in the modern day, I would like to see some weapons return, especially the SCAR. I think that the SCAR coming back to Call of Duty would be freaking awesome, man. I love the SCAR so much, and I'm really excited to see it if they do bring it to Black Ops 4. I think it's going to be some awesome gameplay, man. The SCAR might be the OG gun, let's be honest. The other worry I have is that what Call of Duties tend to do is they tend to steal things from the Call of Duty that just came out previously, right? So like we see that with Call of Duty World War II and Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Call of Duty Infinite Warfare had these mission teams that you could be on, and Call of Duty World War II did the same thing, but they were more like they were actually your class, you know, like infantry, all that good stuff. And in Infinite Warfare you had the Wolverines, the Saber team, stuff like that. My worry is that Call of Duty Black Ops 4 might go down the same route as World War II and have things like divisions and the boot camp training, or whatever the hell it was, where you could, you know, like primed and, I would really like to see Black Ops 4 definitely stick with the Pick-10 system. I also would be okay with them kind of switching it up, maybe doing something a little bit different. Not necessarily this, but like in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, they actually made it a Pick-13 system. You didn't have to run score streaks if you didn't want to. You could just put more attachments on your weapons, or you could run more perks instead of running score streaks, which I thought was actually kind of neat. I'm assuming that a lot of people didn't like that. I mean, people didn't like Advanced Warfare, period, in the first place, but, you know, at least they switched it up a bit with the Pick-13 system. I would be okay with Treyarch kind of maybe testing the waters with a different type of system than the Pick-10 system, but I would like it to at least stay remotely the same. The other thing I'd really like to see with Call of Duty Black Ops 4 is for them to get rid of some of the really clutch perks. For example, like Fast Hands, where, you know, you switch weapon faster and you take less flinch when shot by an enemy. Honestly, there's a lot of perks within Call of Duties that come in clutch that really people only run those perks the entire time that the game is out in its life cycle, and I'd really like to see Call of Duty kind of get rid of all that. You know, either don't even put the perk in, or just make it so everyone takes a little bit less, you know, flinch whenever they're shot. I honestly would really like to see Call of Duty start drifting away from these clutch perks and maybe just kind of make your character good already, and they kind of fix some of these issues that always... It seems like every Call of Duty, they always have the same clutch perks. I'd really like to see, you know, kind of different perks that we haven't seen before, and make it so not every single one is super clutch and super mandatory to run in the game for you to even have a chance to do well and to get some of those high score streaks. The other thing is that, you know, Infinity Ward, they did a lot of really neat things that were kind of different that most Call of Duties haven't done. For example, they had, you know, you had the score streaks and then you had the kill streaks. So the more score you got different types of streaks, and then, you know, if you got, you know, kill streaks, you would get different types of streaks, and I thought that was kind of neat, you know. It's not necessarily something I want to see in the next Call of Duty game, but it's something that's different and makes it kind of fresh and fun. I really want to see some big changes to Call of Duty this year, and that can be scary, to be honest with you, because if they screw it up, then it's going to be really bad. You know, in my opinion, the division system in Call of Duty World War II was really bad. And it was definitely a change, and they were testing the waters to see, you know, how something like that would go over in a Call of Duty game. And I think that it's pretty well known that the division system in World War II is not all that liked by the people that play it, and definitely the pros that play it, like Optic Scumpy and people like that. Something that I really want to come back to the Call of Duty Black Ops series is party games. Like, I want to see Sticks and Stones come back. I want to see One in the Chamber come back, and I want to see Gun Game come back, obviously. But I want to see some of these party games that were super fun to play in Call of Duty Black Ops 1 and Call of Duty Black Ops 2 that they just for some reason ditched in Call of Duty Black Ops 3. I can't imagine that making a game mode like that is all that difficult and adds really that much work for the developers when they're making these games. You know, I'd like to see game modes like Infected come back, and maybe some game modes that we've never seen before. You know, in Call of Duty Ghosts, even though I did not like that game, there was some unique game modes, like Cranked. Cranked was pretty crazy, man. Every single kill you got, you started to run faster, got more perks, things like that. I'd like to see some really fun game modes come to Call of Duty that we haven't seen before. The other thing that I really honestly found neat about Call of Duty, The other thing that I really found neat about Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 was that they actually had a playlist where they had the community vote on their top 3 favorite maps from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, and then they made that a game mode. So you could go into this game mode that basically was Mosh Pit, where it would have different game modes, and you could play on the 3 most popular maps voted by the community, and you could play this on a playlist. Now, how freaking cool is that, dude? Because to be honest with you, like, with Call of Duty Black Ops 3 even, or Call of Duty World War II, or Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, or basically any Call of Duty in general, there's definitely those maps that people are like, oh my god, man, this map freaking sucks, you know? For example, one of them in Call of Duty World War II is Gustav Canyon, or whatever the hell it's called. I'm sure some people like that map, but for me, and probably majority of the community, we don't like the damn map. What would be awesome is that if Call of Duty did things like what Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 did with, you know, Infinity Ward, what they did was they made this playlist that was literally voted on by the community, the top 3 favorite maps. Now that's really cool, man, and I really hope that they bring stuff like that back to Call of Duty. The other thing I'd really like to see come back to Call of Duty is interactive maps. You know, in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, whether you love it or hate it, one of the things that I loved about that game was that every map had unique things, you know? I can't remember some of the map's names, or if any of the names, but I remember that one map where, you know, halfway through the map, all this, like, poisonous gas would come out, and you would have to, these doors would open up, and you'd have to go onto the other side of the map that you hadn't even played on half the map, you know, or half the game, and it became a totally different map. Really, really cool. I really liked that idea, you know? Another example in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare was there was that map where this, you know, huge tide would come in and flood some of the map, and if you got caught in it, you would die. You know, like, interactive stuff in the maps, in my opinion, is really fun. The other thing that I loved about Call of Duty Advanced Warfare that I would like to see come back into Call of Duty at least at some point in the future is having map-specific score streaks. So, like, and Call of Duty Ghosts did this a bit too, where, you know, if you got a care package on, let's say, Site 244, I think it was Site 244 on Advanced Warfare, you had a chance, if you got a care package, you could get this alien score streak that was super weird. It basically made you a superhuman. You could, like, see through walls, you could run faster, reload faster, you had more health. It was just crazy. But they had really fun map-specific score streaks. Like, I remember one of them, I think it was in the last DLC for Advanced Warfare, there was a score streak you could get in a supply drop that was a swarm score streak, and you could basically, like, shoot down all these swarm of, like, these little drones, right, that could kill people. They had map-specific score streaks, which I thought was really neat. There's a lot of things that I honestly think are really cool about a lot of Call of Duty games, but they just didn't really do everything else all that great, that if you implemented it in a good Call of Duty, and Treyarch usually makes a damn good Call of Duty, it could be really, really neat and really loved by the community. But guys, there's so many possibilities, it's crazy. I mean, I could go on and on and on about Call of Duty Black Ops 4 and what I would love to see in the multiplayer and what I would like to not see in the multiplayer. But honestly, we're just going to find out, you know? Pretty soon here, probably in the next 2-3 months, we're going to start getting a little bit more information about Call of Duty Black Ops 4, and we're going to start seeing maybe a teaser trailer, stuff like that, leaked images. It's pretty hype, man. It's pretty hype. Everyone's excited for Black Ops 4, including me. I'm really, really hoping that it's set in the modern era. We get some modern weapons, but also maybe some, like, futuristic modern weapons that we haven't seen before, because honestly, I don't want to play with the same guns that we've played with in all these other Call of Duty games. So anyway, guys, now I want to move into zombies and talk about maybe some of the things that I'm really excited for, some of the things that I hope that they do with the zombies in Call of Duty Black Ops 4, and some of the things that might piss a lot of people off. To jump into some of my hopes and wishes for Black Ops 4 zombies, One of my favorite modes in Black Ops 2 was Grief Mode, where it was 4 players versus 4 players. You could either come together and try to get as far as you could, or you could kind of fight each other and see who survived the longest and who won the game. And what was awesome about Grief Mode is you could like knife your opponents and make them, get dizzy and stuff. And it was awesome, like when people were trying to revive teammates, like you see right now, you could knife people, make it so they stopped reviving their teammates. People could block you off at the mystery box door, so you couldn't hit the mystery box. It was a really fun game mode, and I'm really hoping that Treyarch steps their game up for game modes within zombies. Don't get me wrong, I love Black Ops 3 Zombies, but I was really hoping that they would bring something like this back. I really, really like this competitiveness that they bring to zombies in Black Ops 2. It was awesome, man, and I'm really hoping that they bring something like this back again. The other big question, you guys are about to see it here. Here's some footage of Call of the Dead. I love this map so much. But another really big question with Black Ops 4 Zombies is, are they going to stick with the same storyline, with the same characters, or are they going to do something completely different? Now, why I say this is that there's actually 2 huge possibilities. They could either stick with the generics, or not generic, but they could stick with the same storyline that they have right now, right? With Nikolai and Dempsey and Takeo and Richtofen, and they could kind of, elaborate on that story, but more in the modern times, or they could go a different route, which I honestly think this is the route they're going to probably go. I'm thinking that they're going to go more towards what happened during the Treyarch Zombies main storyline, but what was happening during the modern times, right? And the reason why I think this is that I don't know if you guys remember, but there was a map from Black Ops 1 called 5. Now, whether or not that has anything to do with the main storyline, the fact is that it's a map. And to me, it honestly does have to do with the storyline, and they haven't really ever went deep into the storyline of 5, and how literally JFK, Castro, all those guys, they actually fought off zombies in the Pentagon. And within the Pentagon, there was the Pentagon Thief, right? And the Pentagon Thief himself, we really don't have that much of a background on who the hell that is and why he's there doing that stuff. We have some background on him, but not a ton. And right now, you're seeing some 5 gameplay. What I honestly think they're going to do is that they're going to kind of expand on the zombie storyline, but within our own American military, and how the American military was fighting off these zombies as well in multiple regions and keeping it under wraps, or kind of like a Black Ops mission of the government going in and taking care of some of these zombies. And we might see more of a expansion of the American military and how they were fighting off the zombies, as well as, Nikolai, Richtofen, Takeo, all those guys were also fighting these zombies as well. What's interesting is that in the first cutscene for 5, which is my favorite cutscene, I'm going to be playing that here in a bit because it's just absolutely awesome, but JFK sees these zombies and he's like, zombies. Like, he knows what they are and that they exist. It's interesting. And I'm sure not a lot of people have actually thought about this, but I honestly think that maybe the military already knew that during World War II, Hitler or Richtofen or whatever, the Nazis were creating these zombie soldiers, and that the military was very aware that these zombies were alive. And maybe with Black Ops 4, they're going to go into more of a modern era of how they were dealing with the zombies. Because honestly, with the storyline that we have right now with Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, and Black Ops 3, it never really dives deep into what the military itself was doing with these zombies. And from the map 5, we know that the military obviously knew that zombies existed, and they had a plan for it. But here's the thing, with that possibility, I honestly think that a lot of people might not like that route. For me, I think it's a high possibility that they actually expand on the story that is 5. And to be completely honest, I think that might piss some people off. I don't think that a lot of people would like to see a more military-style zombies from Treyarch. They kind of want to have that fun, that fun character play, like Nikolai, Richtofen, Dempsey, all those characters. Takeo, I think that they would rather see maybe an expansion of what was happening between the timelines, all the crazy stuff that goes on with Treyarch Zombies. It's really confusing, but maybe people would rather see something like that. But to be completely honest, I would love to see kind of a branch off of what the military was doing, not even in just America, but around the world. If multiple leaders like Russia, Cuba, China, if multiple leaders knew that the Nazis were creating, or Richthofen was creating these undead soldiers, and what they were doing to combat it, and maybe, you know, secret missions that they did within modern times, even now, present day. To be honest, there's a lot of crazy routes that Treyarch could go down with this Black Ops 4, but I honestly think that maybe a modern military expansion within the Treyarch universe of zombies could be a real possibility. Alright guys, I'm going to leave you with these two cutscenes that I absolutely love in Black Ops 1 Zombies. I really hope you stay and watch them. They are some freaking damn good cutscenes, man. Anyway guys, thanks for watching the video. I hope that you liked the video. Subscribe, baby, if you haven't already. I want you guys to wake up happy. I want you to live your dreams. I want you to dominate the damn day. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Oh no, I missed that.
Prime Minister Castro, this missile crisis was the last straw. We almost blew ourselves up. Now, we invited you here today...
In good faith.
In good faith. To sort this thing out.
And why is he here? He lost. As I always say, forgive your enemies, but remember their names. Now, gentlemen, as I like to think, in the long history of the world, that there are only a few generations.
Sounds like someone breaking in!
It's just a storm, Dick. Sit down.
Oh my God!
It appears the Pentagon has been breached.
Zombies. Gentlemen, at times like these, our capacity to retaliate must be, and has to be massive, to deter all forms of aggression. Gentlemen, lock and load.
Viva la revolución!
Any last words, Mr. President?
Yes, Jack. Any superlative words of inspiration for our humble troops?
Do not pray for easy lives, my friends. Pray to be stronger men.
I came across some old Nazi documents. I couldn't believe what I was reading. Element 115, necromancers, raising the dead, real creepy stuff.
We're completely surrounded! Come on!
The coolest thing? Some of that crazy shit happened right here.